The Alex Rugley era has begun for the Jefferson football team. Rugley was hired as head football coach in March and enters his first season with the Blue Jays. Rugley hopes to build his team on defense and toughness. He says that he wants them to play physical.
We're going to be a downhill football team, but we're also going to be able to throw the football as well. That's our goal. But, we want our offensive line taking pride in what they do and playing good, solid defense and running to the football, getting 11 hats to the football and playing sound defense. That's the key.
Receiver and running back Jordan Shockley says that the new style of play is clear.
I think we're focusing on defense more than we have in the past, and we're a little bit more hard-nosed this year than we usually are, especially than last year.
Offensive and defensive lineman Shane Clinton thinks the new style will pay off.
I feel like we're really trying to be physical. The intensity and work ethic has really raised the last couple of years, and I think it's really going to help out in the end.
Rugley says that Jefferson has scored a lot of points over the last couple of years, but they've also allowed a lot too. He wants to see greater intensity defensively.
We're going to try to do our best to have 11 hats to fly to the football. We tell the kids we don't blow the whistle until 11 hats are to the football, and they better be flying to the football. Reading and keying and things like that, that's going to be a big part of that, and we want to make sure that our kids are playing sound defense and taking pride in their defense, and taking pride in what we do defensively.
Jefferson returns most of their skill players, including senior quarterback Austin Graves, who is a 3-year starter. He's a dual threat running and throwing and is coming off an ACL tear last year and missed half the season. Jordan Shockley was a receiver last year and returns this year. He also expects to run out of the backfield as well. Up front, the Blue Jays have only one offensive lineman returning. That lone returner is 6'6", 270-pound junior Shane Clinton, who's getting D1 college looks. Rugley feels their strength will be their playmakers in the backfield.
Eventually, I'm hoping that plays into a fact of our offensive line becoming better and becoming one. We have about 6-7 guys that are rolling in there in those 5 spots, and we want those guys to be a part of what our skilled positions are doing, and to be a part and be physical up front, and hopefully, be known as a physical football team.
One of Rugley's biggest concerns is their depth. Rugley comes from Hillsborough High School, a Class 4 school, and is adjusting to the smaller Class 2 school.
Depth is always a concern. It was a concern for us over there, but it's an even bigger concern over here because we don't have the kids to pick from. We don't have 1,200 kids like we did over there. We have 300 kids, and whenever you have 40, 45 kids out from 9 through 12, you always worry about depth. That's always your concern.
He expects them to have 5 or 6 players playing on both sides of the football and wants to keep that number as low as possible.
We don't want to play 11 hats on offense, the same 11 playing on defense, because, down in the fourth quarter, if we're not in shape, which, the shape will come, but we'll get beat. So it's kind of one of those things that we want to make sure we're playing, having as many fresh bodies out there as possible, but putting our kids in the best position to succeed.
The new Jefferson coaching staff is made up of 4 former Hillsborough coaches or players, along with 3 coaches who returned to the staff from Jefferson. Rugley says coaches Chris Clinton, Paul Lipp, and Chad Corson have been a big help for Rugley to build a new regime.
They've helped me learn about the kids from a standpoint that I wasn't able to learn about them from, whenever I got hired in March. I try to make it up to school once a week and meet the kids and be around the kids and do other odds and ends things to prepare for the football season. But, me and Coach Clinton, we talk, 2 to 3 hours outside of the football practice and things like that, because he's been around these kids. He's been around this program for 7 years now, and he knows these kids better than I do at this stage.
Rugley was an assistant coach under Brian Robbins for 5 years and 9 total at Hillsborough High School. He says what you'll see on the field schematically will look very similar to what you've seen at Hillsborough recently.
Brian taught me a lot about the game of football from a different aspect, from a running game standpoint and as well as an option football game standpoint. So, it's what we know. It's what our coaching staff knows.
Jefferson opens their season at John F. Kennedy High School. Reporting for Regional Radio Sports, I'm Tommy Self.